Ukraine war viewers, at least 8 have been killed and 27 injured in a Russian missile strike on the port of Odesa. And this comes even as the US is now preparing for a high-level talks with Kremlin envoy on the Ukraine peace plan. Now, Ukraine's emergency services say that the attack hit a port infrastructure late Friday, with several of the wounded, in fact, traveling on a bus near the impact site. Now, in this case, trucks caught fire, cars were damaged, and officials say ballistic missiles were in fact used by Russia. Viewers, the strike by Russia comes at a sensitive diplomatic moment. A Russian envoy, in fact, is now traveling to Florida to meet with the Trump officials. This is where talks are going to be held aimed at ending the 4-year-long war. Now, and these discussions follow meetings this week that took place between US, Ukrainian and European officials in Berlin. So essentially, US representatives have already met European and Ukrainian officials, and now they're going to meet with the Russian officials. On this, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy says much now depends on Washington's response after the talks are held with Moscow. He also confirmed that US has floated a possible trilateral meet involving the US, Ukraine and Russia, but at the same time warned that major obstacles remain, including territorial disputes, the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, and the funding which is going to come for Ukraine's reconstruction. So essentially, these are the contested issues that are yet to be discussed. Meanwhile, Ukraine says its drone struck Russian oil and military facilities, including an oil rig operated by Lukoil and a radar system in Crimea. Moscow has not acknowledged the Odesa strike, saying it only targeted infrastructure supporting Ukraine's military. Viewers, as diplomacy now intensifies, the battlefield violence shows no sign of slowing, underscoring the fragile path toward any ceasefire. Meanwhile, a sharp political pushback has also been coming from the allies of US President Donald Trump. They accuse what they call the deep state and sections of media deliberately undermining Trump's efforts to broker peace in Ukraine and across Europe. The claim that reports suggesting US intelligence backs the EU and NATO view of a looming Russian invasion of Europe are false and misleading. According to this argument, US intelligence assessments say that Russia lacks even the capability to conquer and occupy Ukraine, let alone invade Europe. And the charge here is that the fear is now being amplified to rally support for pro-war policies, even as peace talks remain on the table.